Hey y'all, it's Andrea from Andrea Speaks TV, back with more news and commentary you can use. Listen, y'all, I wanted to do a quick winter storm check-in, okay? I told you all I've shared in several videos here on the channel about the expected winter storm that has started in the, in other parts of the United States, and it's making its way over on the East Coast where I am, here in the South. And I just wanted you all to know that I'm doing well. My family is doing well. I pray that you and your family are doing well. Also, I haven't been live much recently and that is because, as I shared with you all, I was taking some additional steps to get prepared. Um, we were already prepared in, several different ways, but there were a couple of things that we knew that we needed to do. So I've been busy doing that. But I did get a chance to go out earlier. I'm getting ready to go out again. It is cold. You definitely, in my area here in Georgia, you definitely need a heavy coat when you go out. And it also is wet, okay? It was raining earlier. And we all know that when we're talking about cold weather mixed with rain, that could, end up being a very serious and dangerous, potentially life-threatening situations. So definitely when I'm out and about, and even when you're out and about, I want to encourage you to be careful, know what's going on in your local area, okay, whether it's the news or by text. I know some communities have where you can sign up for their red alert system. That may be something you want to look into. And I've talked about this app called Nextdoor. I don't know if you have it in your area, but it's where communities can, members of the community can join and share information with each other. I encourage you to stay tuned and know what's going on in your area, whether that's about the weather or, any type of, situation you need to know of so that you can prepare and make plans so that you and your family can be protected and sustain through whatever situation is going on. Make sure that you have your emergency food supply, your survival needs. Make sure you know how to use these tools that you have. They're talking about how I did see some reports where they were saying, they may be expecting blackouts. So whether it's planned or unplanned, okay, we've talked about, these are things we've talked about here before on the channel, right? Make sure that you have a backup energy supply, whether it's a solar generator, gas generator. Please be careful if you're using a gas generator, okay? You want to do your research before you just, turn loose and use those. Definitely don't use a gas generator inside, okay? You want to do your research with that. Someone on the channel also mentioned a kerosene heater. Okay, I grew up on those. I know about those. But again, please make sure you do your research. You want to have, it's always a good idea, you want to have multiple ways to produce energy and provide a way to heat your household. Okay, think about, remember, I have a video here on the channel in 2021, I believe, when Texas had the ice storm. People went a week or longer without power. There was frozen ice in many, many different places. And even now, okay, just like back then in the Texas situation, they were talking about how transportation came to a halt. Think about all those things, in a winter storm situation such as the one that many people have experienced and what we're expected to experience in my area. You got to think, if the roads are icy or too dangerous of conditions to, for the truck drivers, transportation workers to get the products from point A to point B, then that could very well mean for consumers like you and I that the products are not making it to the stores. And remember, I said in a crisis situation, one of the last places that you want to be is caught up in the grocery store, potentially fighting someone over the last loaf of bread, the last gallon of milk, the last dozen of eggs, whatever it is that you feel like is essential for you and your family's survival. Also, I can't say this enough. Please make sure you have water, okay? Make sure you have water at home. In a power outage situation, the power outage, that also affects your water in your home. And so many people, they make some bags. I do have one where you can quickly fill up your entire tub, and you just have it's a large bag. It expands, of course, to fit the size of your tub. And in a power outage situation, you can quickly fill up that bag with water and use that for, whatever you need to use it for. Not only is it a good idea to have water, but also have a way to filter water. Okay, let's say for example, if something happens like in Jackson, Mississippi, for example, where, there's in other cities. Okay, I talked about Jackson, Mississippi here on the channel, but think about how, several of those people, they were under a boil watery advisory. Their water may not have been safe to drink, as it was. You may need to have a way to filter your water. So, these are things, depending on, how things are in your area and what's available, and, with the holidays and shipping, these may or may not be things you can get now, but these are things that you want to think about and keep in mind for the futures. See, I thought about all of these things over a year ago, when I had a change of mind about a lot of things, and I saw the way that the world was headed. Like, wait a minute, something's going on here. This is not normal. What's really happening? And so I started planning. So many of the things that people, may be out trying to search for, or trying to find at the last minute, or they're paying higher prices for today. These are things that I planned out and thought about and got over a year ago. So just something for you to think about. I always, I say here on the channel that today's prices are not always tomorrow's prices. So if it is available today, you may be paying a higher price versus if you, would have gotten that same item at an earlier time. So, again, that's just something to think about. Make sure if you do have to go out, make sure you have some survival items, emergency items in your vehicle. I shared in one of my recent videos here on the channel how I keep a bag with me, as well as a way to, let's say, charge my cell phone or electronic devices. Make sure you have gas in your vehicle. These are all things that we need to be thinking about. Make sure you have medical supplies, medical needs, especially if you're someone who you take prescription medicine, or if you have to have, if you use any medical devices that are electric. Think about, okay, if the power were to go out, do you have that alternate source of energy to power up your devices? So again, y'all, these are all things that we need to think about. Please check out the many other videos here on the channel where I talk about those things, and also check in the comments and leave a comment. Many of you all here on the channel, I appreciate you all so much. As I share information, you all share information with me, and you give me things to think about, like, wow, I didn't think about it like that, or, hey, that's something to think about. And make sure you have staple items, your rices. I live faithfully by apple cider vinegar. That's something I always grew up with. It has many, many uses. You can clean with apple cider vinegar, in a power outage situation. You may have to clean and wipe some things down. Okay, you have apple cider vinegar. I also keep distilled white vinegar, baking soda, things like that. By no means is that the complete list, but these are just things that I'm thinking about to share with you. So if you have any questions about any of the information I shared in this video, please make sure you leave it in the chat, or leave it in the comments rather. If you have something you say, hey, Andrea, you didn't mention this, but here's something to think about, please make sure you leave that in the comments as well. I always enjoy reading your comments. You all, like I said, I share information with you, and you all give me some things to think about as well. I encourage you. I'm not saying that I want you to sit down and just watch the news and get, become fearful or scared. By no means do I want you to do that. But I do want you to be aware of not only what's going on here in the United States, but in your own local area, okay? So that you can prepare and make a plan to protect and provide for your family in the event of some type of unplanned or planned crisis situation. So make sure you check out what's going on in your local area, and also let me know what you're seeing in your local area. How are the temperatures? I want to say right now in my particular area, if I were to guess, it may be somewhere in the 40s. Okay, maybe 40s, 30s. I'm not exactly sure. I may be a little bit off with that, but it is cold enough to where you definitely need warm clothing going outside. And like I said, it is wet outside. So please be careful. Please be safe. Please take the necessary steps that you feel like you need to take to protect, provide for your family. Okay, I'll come back and give you all more updates later. Again, this is a winter storm check-in. I'll be checking in with you all as much as I can, but stay busy, y'all. Make sure that you are prepared. Okay, y'all take care. Thank you so much for supporting me here on the channel. Be blessed, and I'll talk to you soon.